Good morning, Soul Center.
Good morning.
Happy Sunday in this beautiful December as we launch our holiday, of course, month. Super grateful for all of you that are here in person and online. And of course, thank you, our beautiful musicians, Jesse Joy, Brian Sherrick, and Christy Malone are here with us today. Let's start with our Soul Center declaration, please. That's in your program. Let's stand and say it with great conviction. There is one life, and that life is God. That life is perfect, and that life is my life now. I am here to receive the divine message for me. I am awake, I am tapped in, and I am transformed. You may be seated. We had a wonderful event yesterday at Reverend Keith's Garage Store in Sherman Oaks at Home Gardens. That was really spectacular to go up there as a community. So thank you those of you who shopped online or in person, and some proceeds went to Soul Center, so that's very exciting. We've got some really fun announcements, and I'll just briefly share a couple of them. January is our anniversary month, which is really exciting. So we're celebrating our 9-year anniversary, but really focusing on celebrating the launch of our 10th year. And, as you know, in business or any kind of numbers, 10 years is always a fun year to celebrate. So we have decided to celebrate the entire year, and we are calling it our 10th year of transformation. So that's launching in January. So please join us every Sunday in January, because every single Sunday has a really, really special celebration attached to it. And check the newsletter and the website for those. And one of them is a catered lunch, which is really wonderful for all of our past and future volunteers. So if you've never volunteered, now is your time. You get a beautiful, spectacular catered lunch by Lynn, and she's the best chef ever. So anyway, every single Sunday has a really special event attached to it, so please check for that. On December 14th, which is next week, we are going to be getting together and doing a little socializing as well as addressing envelopes. We are going to be handwriting invitations to people to join us at service in anniversary month. So that's going to be a really fun social event on December 14th. If you have more questions about that, email me at jessica@soulcenteroc.com. It'll be fun. We'll have some nibbles and some socializing, but it's really important we all get together and handwrite these invitations. As we know, handwritten is a lot more special than something else. So please join us for that. I think there was something else I was supposed to announce and I'm forgetting, so I will pass it to Christy and I will remember in a minute.
All right, thank you so much, Jessica. We have to keep our eyes open for the information on our envelope addressing what you just talked about. So we'll remind people.
Okay.
SIVA, the art of serving others through our hearts. This is a volunteer opportunity and a great way to connect with your community. We need an assistant behind the camera for our December 23rd evening service, as our wonderful Jerome will not be there. We will also be looking for someone to start sharing the responsibility. He will share with you how easy this opportunity is. Reverend Keith's annual New Year's Eve morning meditation is December 31st from 10 to 11:15 a.m. PT online via Zoom. Connect with your soul's desires and set the intentions from your heart. This meditation event is designed to take advantage of the energy of resolution setting to fulfill your intentions and desires in a holy way for 2023. The info is at soulcenteroc.com. We also have an opportunity to join in a free virtual viewing of the film Gratitude Revealed, offered by Agape. Reverend Michael recently saw it and felt compelled to bring it to the Agape community. See agapelive.com/gratitude for your Reverend Keith's daily affirmation prayers, which are wonderful, stream live on Soul Center's Facebook page on Zoom, 9:30 a.m. Pacific daily, except Sundays. The link is on our newsletter or at soulcenteroc.com. Next is A Course in Miracles with Akil Beckwith. It's on Tuesdays, 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific. Join anytime throughout the year. Details are on soulcenteroc.com. We have Christmas and New Year's services. Woo! Please note the location and time changes for our Christmas and New Year services. Both will be on the Friday nights before Christmas and New Year, not Sunday. Info is on our newsletter and website.
A note for that, those two services will not have the kids program. I personally am going to bring all three of my kids to the big church, even my 6-year-old. So, we're welcoming all kids of all ages to the regular service, but no dedicated little kids service. So,
thank you. All right, moving on. Our holiday party will be after Friday night service, December 23rd. Be there. I'm planning on it. We will be accepting new items for our anniversary raffles in January. Next, sign up for our website.
And I want to mention a little bit about that. For the raffle baskets, we're accepting, I bought this yesterday at Omen Garden. It's a wonderful love coffee table book. Brand new items that are, in alignment with who and what we are at Soul Center. Mugs with little sayings on it, positive things. But we're really trying to collect items that will bring up the value of these raffle baskets. We're going to have about 3 raffle baskets for anniversary month. And of course, this is a fundraiser for Soul Center. So accepting any new items that would go in a perfect little raffle basket now through the end of the year.
Very good, thank you. Our prayer chaplains wearing blue prayer shawls are here and online holding sacred space for all of us. For confidential prayer after service, please go to the patio or send your prayer request to soulcenterocprayers@gmail.com. You can get to know your community by joining a Soul Circle Small Connection group by contacting Scott at soulcirclesoc@gmail.com. We're currently meeting via Zoom. Tithing. A heartfelt thank you for contributing to Soul Center's success through your monetary gifts. After the bills, we're saving for our permanent building. Awesome. To tithe, please text to the number in your program. It will come up on the screen later, or Venmo it to @SoulCenterOC. Tithing is also available on our website.
And remember, right now is a great time for end-of-year donations, as any amount up to $10,000 is a tax write-off. So keep those end-of-year donations coming in, please. We are very grateful.
Definitely. As always, as she says, tax deductible. Here's an easy way. Amazon donates 5% to a charity of your choice through its Smile program. Select Universal Soul Center, Newport Beach when enrolling. And lastly, our congregational song is coming up. And now, let's join our band for the Soul Center's congregational song. Thank you.
Breathing Our reading is from The Pathway of Roses by Christian Larson. Whoever discerns clearly the spiritual essence of divine substance, which is the basis or soul of all reality, will manifest in the form not only purity, but absolute immunity from all disease and from all adverse actions among physical elements and forces. His body will be spiritualized in proportion to this understanding, and will establish itself more and more firmly in that state of being where divine nature reigns supremely. To spiritualize the body is to give greater strength, more perfect health, and more youthful vigor, as well as higher quality to the body. To establish the body in the consciousness of the spirit is to give the body absolute protection from weakness or disease. In the spirit we find all the elements for perfect being, for body, mind, and soul, and we place the body in the spirit when we realize that every atom in the body is filled through and through with the real substance of spirit. Make yourself a living example of the power of spirit. Do not permit a single weakness to continue for a moment. Do not say that you will be in the future. Say that you are now, and you are, because you are the exact image of the Supreme. Woo! Let us turn with it and pray. Grateful to be here, grateful for this reminder that we are one with the Supreme. Grateful to know and to recognize that God is all there is, that loving, living presence that is moving in, through, and as each and every one of us. I know that love intelligence is governing the universe. I know that everything is working together for my highest and greatest good. I know this is true for me. I know this is true for all of us. I know that I am one with this power and presence, just like the reading said, that I am one with the Supreme. I have God moving in, through, and as me each and every day, and I know this is true for all of us here. I'm blessing this day. I know that it is a perfect day. I know that we are all gathered here for a reason, that we are all on this journey together for a reason, and we are all here uplifting our souls, feeding our souls, raising our vibration, and remembering as we rise, all around us rise as well. I'm blessing Reverend Keith as he delivers his message with laughter and love and humor. Blessing Jesse and Brian and Christy as they deliver the beautiful music that always has a message in it, that lifts our soul even higher. We are truly blessed for just being here. Each one of us, blessings and a blessor. I know that this time of year, this holiday season, these holy days that are upon us, make us reflect and think about the whole year, and remembering that we are beautiful, each one of us, each beautiful emanations of the Most High, and we are revealing that part of ourselves right now and throughout the rest of the year and throughout the new year. I know that this day is a blessed day, and I'm simply blessing us all and letting it go into the law and knowing that it is done, and so it is. Amen.
So it is. Amen.
All right, now it's time for our agape affirmations. You will find them in your program and coming up on the screen. I will speak a line, and then we'll all repeat them aloud together with sincerity and acceptance. Please rise, and you already have. God is good, and I am one with God.
God is good, and I am one with God.
I am one with humanity's goodness. I am successful.
I am one with humanity's goodness.
I am successful.
I have a lot worth celebrating. I am magnificent.
I have a lot worth celebrating. I am magnificent.
I am always loved through community. I am worthy.
I am always loved through community. I am worthy.
Our community is whole, and we celebrate it. I am caring.
Our community is whole, and I celebrate it. I am caring.
I am free to be my true self. I am powerful.
I am free to be my true self. I am powerful.
I can achieve anything I want as I am one with creation.
I can achieve anything I want as I am one with creation.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Amen.
Amen.
for being here. That was gorgeous. That was just beautiful. We appreciate it. More love for Christy. Well, that was a good choice. And of course, the boys, Jesse and Brian. All right. Good morning, Soul Center. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to those of you streaming in live. I know we've got lots of time zones covered in there, so welcome. I'm Reverend Keith, and this is our Soul Center Sunday service, which means you've come here to reactivate, reinvigorate, rejuvenate, and realize who you truly are. That's why your soul brought you here, whether you're streaming or live in person. You came to wake up to the nature of who you truly are. That's why we come together, and I'm here to instigate a riot within you that says, I am going to know who I truly am, beyond my gender, beyond my age, beyond my shape and size, beyond my nationality or race, beyond any of those beautiful things. All of that is beautiful. But it is more beautiful. You know, charming and charismatic people are those that let the soul shine through their bodies, through their emotions, through their mind. That's what makes somebody like, ooh, I want to be near that person. We want to gin that up, rev it up. So as part of the Agape Nation, as part of the Agape International Spiritual Center, that means we are part of the New Thought Ageless Wisdom Teachings, the Golden Thread. I want you to reverberate with the golden thread. I want you to know the golden thread is the truth teachings of bliss that is found in all of the religions in the mystical sect. When you move into the mystical sect, you will find out, oh my God, they're all saying the same things. You've risen above the dogma and the misinterpretations that many people have espoused in the world. And that's okay, because we do that all the time. We misinterpret things all the time. Our job is to get out of misinterpretation, get out of, as Don Miguel Ruiz would say, taking things personally. Taking things personally means you're attaching a meaning to something that does not exist. That's not us. That's not how we rock and soul. We rock and soul by saying yes to the divine on a regular basis. And so yesterday we were having a kind of an impromptu meeting. And I was, in our discussion, we were remembering that Soul Center was birthed over 10 years ago, and it was birthed from a divine idea that our beloved founder, Jessica, and her beloved mother, who is our guardian angel now, they said yes to a call. They said yes to a call of being Agape in Orange County, which we now know is Soul Center International. We have branched out. We have people in other states and in other countries streaming in. And we've got those of you here. And occasionally, this is an invitation for those of you streaming in to come on in person and join us whenever you're in Southern California. But they captured an idea and they stuck with it. They allowed the universe, they allowed the divine to use them. And so I wanted to honor, especially because this beautiful founder over here, co-founder with her mom, her birthday is this coming Wednesday, which is, these flowers are for you. And I really want you to know how incredible, what a lot of people don't realize is what goes on behind the scenes, what goes on to have birthed something like this. It takes a lot, just from setting up a religious 501c3 to everything else that goes on. We do a lot behind the scenes between each service every week. And Jessica does a ton of work and has done so for over 10 years now on behalf of the community. And why? Why? Because she loves so much, not only the teachings, but the community. Anybody who knows Jessica knows she is an enormous fan of family, and that includes not only biological family, but also our family. And so we've touched a lot of hearts over the years, and I just wanted to give my heartfelt thanks for your dedication, because I will tell you, if you were to to use Soul Center as a metaphor. Oftentimes, we move through life and we'll get an inspiration. You'll have one of those aha moments and you'll be like, yes, this is what I need to do. And then you move out of that meditative, awe-inspiring state, and then you just talk yourself right out of, oh no, but then this, and but then that, and but then this, and then the next thing you know, you're not doing the thing that would make your heart sing. You came here to make your heart sing. You came here to sing so loud and so magnificently and express your true nature. And we have started a new month, so we've started a new theme. The theme for the month is living from miracles and light. We're here, miracles, as we know, are the standard operating procedure of life, which means fun, joy, wellness, prosperity, bliss, adventure. You came here to have a grand and glorious adventure. And the topic for today is out of sight, beyond, seeing what is beyond what's in front of you. So many people get microcosmically focused on one singular thing. I don't know if any of you have ever had this experience. Have you ever seen a couple, whether it's a married couple or a going out couple or maybe just friends? And I know, for example, there was this married couple and they were starting to redo their house. It was going to be a whole redo, the kitchen and all the rooms, and they started having, looking at all the tile and the flooring and the paint and the swatches and all of a sudden. And so one day, they come into the kitchen and they're like, oh, honey, what do you think of this? And the husband was like, oh, yeah, I don't know. And she was so excited about the color chips and all that. And she was like, oh, but this and this and this. And I was like, well, yeah, but I don't know, I think. And she had gone to great lengths and spent a lot of time figuring it all out. And then he said, yeah, why don't we look at some other stuff? I don't think you've even checked out this or that, which she already had. And the next thing you know, they're having this big, huge argument. And they're having an argument. She's like, you never listen to me, you never hear me. And then he's like, oh yeah, well you did this and you did that. And they're having an argument that has nothing to do with the actual event that is taking place. They're not seeing that there is something beyond this. The argument is really about being seen and heard in general by life, by people, by your spouse. But we get lost in a myopic viewpoint of, it has something to do with this situation and this circumstance. This is the proverbial breaking the straw of the camel's back that all of a sudden you snap. But not us. We are going to say yes to being keenly aware. We're going to say yes to being so keenly aware that we remember what it means in Scripture when it says, the eye is the lamp of the body, and when the eye be lighted, the whole body will be bright. What that means is that you are allowing divine right perception to see things that are out of sight, to see what's beyond. And I was kind of thinking about out of sight. I don't know, this is kind of dating me, but not really, because this is actually before my time. But I seem to recall there was an expression, I think maybe in the 60s, it was like, out of sight, man, that's out of sight. Modern translation, that's sick, man, that's really sick. So out of sight was that old vernacular, groovy, it's cool, it's happening, it's hip. There was a few other ones that came over the rest of the decades. But to live a life that is out of sight, you've got to look at things that are out of sight, out of the temporal senses. You have to allow yourself to know that when the eye of the body is bright, which means you are allowing yourself to steep in clarity on a regular basis so that you know the truth of what is going on, so that when you have the argument about the tile or the paint swatches or the whatever it is, and all of a sudden you're in this argument and you can say, ooh, and you can feel, I just don't feel heard. I don't feel seen. Or maybe I don't even feel important. Because if I was important, you would hear me, and you would see me, and you would acknowledge me. That aspect of life happens over and over and over again. You would think that after 10,000 years of human evolution, we would just have that simple thing down, to not take things personally. And we come to a spiritual center, we come to our practice to lift us not just so we learn it intellectually. Now this is where the mistakes happen. People, they learn a spiritual truth, they go, oh yeah, that's right. The next step after, yeah, that's right, is I'm going to embody that. I'm going to live that, and I'm going to heal anything that would keep me from the automatic expression of knowing that 24/7. We want to be in an automatic state of divine receptivity. We want to make sure that we don't do, or we heed the warning, as it is also stated, just another way of saying about the eye of the lamp of the body in the Course in Miracles. Do not make the mistake of thinking you understand what you see. For when the Holy Spirit interprets what you see, then you will understand. So you are allowing interpretation to come through a filter, and that filter is telling you whatever it is. You have developed a belief, you have developed an idea or a definition about something, and instead of healing it, compounding it is what is taking place. When you compound something, and then I'm going to turn in, I'm going to be right, that I have been wronged. You do not want to be right about being wronged. You want to make sure that you understand that you don't want to live factually, you want to live actually. Factually is going to look at the facts that are associated with time and space. Oh, the fact is, you just did this, and you just said that, and this is what's going on. Those are the facts, and facts come through the filter of your perception, your definitions, your beliefs. That is not what is actually going on. What actually is going on is that there is a divine impulse that is seeking to lift you into a greater expression of your good, which only seeks to beget joy and wellness and prosperity. All of the side effects of you steeping in the divine are good, are joy, are fun, are bliss. I want to remind you, it's been a long time since I've kind of brought this analogy, but basically, you come to life in your human outfit, this costume. This is a costume. You came in a costume, you picked your color, you picked your nationality, you picked your shape, you picked your size, you picked your gender, you picked all of that before you got here. Some of you picked consciously, some of you picked unconsciously, and then you're like being in a play or in a movie. You get to play the character of the costume you chose, but that's not who you really are. Remember years ago, there was some actor who started to believe that he was really the character he was playing, and it's like, oh, that's crazy. Well, it's just as crazy to believe that you are all of these things. Now, all of these things, gender, race, religion, all of the aspects of a personality are wonderful and good. We want to honor that. We want to make sure that it's good, but we want to make sure it's clean. We want to cleanse all victimization and make sure that we are triumphing in the victorious energy by becoming so self-aware that you can understand that the argument is not about the paint or the colors. The argument is about something else, where you can be spiritually mature and say, ooh, okay, instead of me retaliating and reacting and pointing the finger back in the other direction, I go, ooh, wow, that hurt a little bit. I need to take a time out. Hold on a second. And I'm going to go feel what that is so that I can find out what my belief is, and then I can set a new intention to transform and rise above and transcend, never to be irritated ever again. But most people, they tend to allow themselves to go, we're going to have an argument, we're going to agree to disagree, I'm going to know that I'm right and you're wrong, and you're going to know that you're right and I'm wrong, and we'll go off into our corners and we'll come back and we'll pretend to be cordial and nice, and then you're going to do it again in a week, and I'm going to go, no, not us. Not us. We came here to grow. We came here to expand in good. We came here to see what is beyond so that we can live a life that is out of sight. We want to make sure that we are thinking, allowing ourselves to think independent of an experience. To think independent of an experience. This is what's going on. So this is what we would call observing or witnessing. So everybody's probably familiar. Actually, I got somebody, if you're the one on Instagram who asked about the observer effect, yes, your definition was correct. The observer effect is that when you are observing something, that which is being observed is going to change based on the observer's energy and information. So there's nothing really neutral, which just goes along with the idea that what you believe is what you are going to perceive. So whatever I bring, unless you can go into a totally Zen state where I no longer am thinking, I am no longer judging, I am no longer having any definitions, I could observe potentiality and possibility. Infinite, as you move into the quantum field, you'll see there's infinite potentials and infinite possibilities. And as you heard me say last week, we're not interested in infinite potentials and possibilities. We're interested in infinite benevolent potentials and benevolent possibilities and the fulfillment thereof, which means we're interested in the law of creation more than the law of attraction. The law of attraction is a stepping stone towards the law of creation. The law of creation says there's a divine idea for your life that is brilliant, that is only going to bring you bliss, that is only going to bring you joy, that is only going to bring you adventure and fun and all of the trappings that come with it, prosperity and kindness and generosity and camaraderie and fellowship and deep, sacred, holy relationships where, wow, you feel so heard and so seen, and so loved, and so adored, and reciprocated, because you are just in the natural flow. The law of creation is you grab the divine idea, and you simply say, yes. Yes, speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Now, I know that sounds like, ooh, heavy, religious, speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. But really what that is, yeah, I'm going to say yes to my bliss, to my good. I'm going to go all Joseph Campbell on you and say, follow my bliss. I'm going to allow myself to really hear the still small voice of your soul, your true self. We are going to start to detach or unattach from all of the layers of trauma in our own human energy field that have created the illusion of separation so that we can unify once again back where it's like, you can witness what's going on in the world but not be affected by it. But that takes a little work. It takes a little work to make sure that we actually participate in that intentionally and attentionally, that we make sure that we aren't living factually, we're living actually in the divine, actually in love, actually as someone who is saying, you know what? No matter what it is. Now, what's going to happen over time is you're going to notice that things that used to trigger you, that used to get under your skin, are going to start to diminish, and they're going to lower. Now, sometimes in a false positive of, ooh, I've healed it, I go from being livid to just being irritated. I go from being irritated to being frustrated. All of that just means I've cleared several layers that no longer get me to livid, and now I'm just a little irritated, which means I have just a little bit more to go. Because there's no such thing as irritation, there's no such thing as frustration, there's no such thing as guilt or shame or worry or doubt in your soul or in the divine. There is only confidence and clarity and optimism and faith, which are what translates into your experience. You came here to have a joy-filled experience. And I, for one, am not going to let any of you slip through the cracks. You're all going to rise to your magnificence. You're all going to say yes. You are going to say yes to allowing your spiritual practice to be so much fun. I do remember, you may or may not believe this, some of you might actually go, oh yeah, I remember that. But back in the day when I first started 22 years ago, I was like, oh, gotta meditate, okay. Oh, okay, it's been 5 minutes. Oh, it's been 5.5 minutes. Oh, it's been 6 minutes. And then, the monkey mind and all that. Now it's delicious. It is like, oh my goodness, and you're working towards ceaseless meditation. Meditation is not just sitting in lotus position, doing Om all day, and being boring and kind of complacent. Meditation is alive. Prayer is alive. It is more alive when you look at the dynamic nature of life. There are things within your energy field that start to diminish life force, That creates a degenerative expression in your life. A lot of what people know today to be called aging has to do with unresolved traumas taking their toll on your physical, emotional, and mental bodies. That's what most people think of aging. If you were to allow yourself to experience a life without trauma, then you would realize that all of those things that break down as we get older, all the cravings you have for things that aren't good for you wouldn't be there. All of the degenerative expressions of everything that has been normalized. Oh, when you get to this age, your eyes are going to go. When you get to this age, then this is going to go. When you get to this age, then you're going to need a walker. Then you're going to need this. Then you're going to need that. Now, anybody who's going through that, we're there with absolute compassion, absolute love, absolute nurturance, absolute support. And we're also there for ourselves to say, you know what? I am going to transcend the world of effects. You came here to do that. You can do it in one lifetime, you can do it in 100 lifetimes. It's really up to you how you want to do that. And what the benefit is that you will experience more bliss. But it does take a little bit of a resolve. It takes resilience. You want to be resilient to the temporal world. What is resilience? Resilience is something that's like, whoa, something comes and it bounces back. It doesn't, the wind comes, if you've got resistant sails on the boat, they can take a little bit of a little extra force and they bounce back and they're still fine. We want to make sure that we have resolve and resilience so that we can pursue the transmutation, transformation of our life. It is inevitable. Everybody must go through transmutation and transformation. That's the game of life. Life is, we came here to have fun, so we're going to all agree to have fun. We're going to make sure that we understand what it's like to move through life constructively or destructively. When you think of life as constructive, the word structure is in the word constructive. That means I'm constructing, I'm conning, or I'm bringing. Con is to bring, to with structure. When we are practicing more of a destructive nature, that means we're tearing apart the structure. Now, a lot of people, when they're moving through their life, they've got destructive energies in their trauma body that are destroying relationships, they're destroying their finances, they're destroying their structures aren't solid. One of the things we've been doing here at Soul Center for the past 5 years is we've been laying the foundation of a structure that can support what it is we're after. We're laying the structure, the spiritual principles and practices are holding the structure of what's soon to be our next building that we will be in semi-permanently, meaning we'll be in there 24/7, but our campus is still the vision. So we're putting together the structures. You put together a constructive program for the successful expression of your life. If you are on faulty structure, anybody who's ever been in contracting or real estate knows, if your foundation is cracked and crumbly and not able to hold the structure, it's going to fall. And that means you'll be able to start to understand what it means to be a house divided. A house divided means you've got two opposing forces. I'm a house divided, so I want to be seen and loved and heard and understand and revered and respected, but I don't believe I am. I believe you're the root of all my problems. You're the one. If you would just get your act together, then I would be okay. No, that's not the way it works. That is a destructive way of approach to being. We want to make sure that we are constructive and we are going to refortify that foundation, refortify our own life. We are taking responsibility for our life. So we're going to have the intention, each and every one of us, that we are going to allow it to be fun, joy-filled, joyful, grace-filled, graceful. I know some people have had arduous experiences. Anybody who's ever gone through a medical healing, I've worked with so many people over the past 22 years with everything from, you name it, from stage 4 cancer diagnoses to other forms of disease and disease, to other forms of just relationships that are crumbling. You've heard me tell you probably 5,000 examples already. And I'm just going to give you one more. There was a woman that I knew that she was working in the wholeness and wellness field. And she was a PhD from a university in psychology, and she really wanted to take psychology and marry it into holistic healing and divine energy work and things of that nature, alternative healing. And she was coming out and birthing a new practice where she was going to bring it out into the world and help support other people. And she was also very much into like the technology. You know, there's a lot of technology out there. You can read your aura, your energy centers. There's all kinds of, you know, you can get a biorhythm. You can find out a lot of what's going on in your energy centers with technology. She loved technology. And so a lot of people would just take advantage. They started taking advantage, oh, do this for me and do that for me, but they didn't want to compensate her. And so she started getting really frustrated with that. And she started to blame all these other people for not being there, and so she started to close the door on all of them. Oh, well, you're disrespectful, you don't want to supply me, you don't want to, so I'm just going to walk away from all of you. Meanwhile, I'm carrying all my trauma in my little suitcases, and I'm taking it all with me, and I'm going to let it outpicture somewhere else. And then I'm going to blame these people, and by the time we got together, there were no less than probably 20, 30 people in her life that were, including family members, that had also taken advantage of her, and nobody respected her PhD. Nobody respected that title. And the bottom line is, she did not respect it. She did not believe in herself. She had low self-esteem. And so if I'm going to be operating from factual instead of actual information, factual says you did this and you did that, and I'm only seeing right before me. Actual is I'm going to pull back and go, oh, my intention is to be loved and seen and heard and respected, and that mantra I will keep doing, and my healing I will keep doing until I get a result. When you get a result, you'll know exactly what anybody believes by what is outpicturing in their life. If I'm telling you I'm rich and prosperous, but I haven't got 2 pennies to rub together, and I'm in debt up to my ears, then that is not actual, that is factual. And we want to make sure we flip the tables, and we make sure that we find out what is actual. The actual truth is God is your source and your supply. The actual truth is you are one with an infinite, omnipresent, omniamorous, omnipotent that would never, ever, cannot withhold from you. The universe does not withhold. It does not withhold love. It does not withhold reverence, respect, clarity. It does not withhold prosperity or success. It is impossible. The universe gives and gives and gives from joy. That is all it does. That is your soul. Your soul operates at that. That's being born in the image and likeness of God. If you are not receiving what you would like to receive, there is something, without making yourself bad, without saying, what am I doing wrong, without making something else bad or wrong, just being very clear. My intention is, I want to have a deeper connection with my husband or my wife or my best friend that is always expressing reverence and kindness and respect. And it's going to be better than any reverence, kindness, or respect you've ever experienced before if you allow yourself to surrender into that divine inertia that will pull you into your good. You're going to transcend all of the isms of the world. That is one of the most beautiful things. Whether it's racism, sexism, misogyny, anything else, nationalism, anything else that is out there, you get to transcend all of that. You get to transcend your ideas and beliefs of your own self so that you can thrive and you can live in the world that I think we're all after. We're all after the world where people are kind and generous and reverent and respectful, that our people are giving and loving and never withholding, nurturing and supportive. We want all these. We see ideals out there, people who have ideals about, that everybody from anywhere can go anywhere and anyone from anywhere can do anything. You have to cultivate that. And as you rise, as Lynn was saying earlier, as you rise, all around you rise. But you're in charge of your rising. You're in charge of saying, okay, No more factuality in my life. I'm going to live in actuality in the divine reverberation of my soul. And I'm going to let it be fun. And I'm going to let it be joyous. And I'm going to let it be good. So, circling back to people who might be going through a challenge. That's where you lean in. You don't lean into the Debbie Downers. You don't live in, and I apologize for using the word Debbie. Any Debbies out there, we love you. And you're not a downer, but just the vernacular. We're not leaning into the energy vampires. We're going to first be cognizant and aware that we're going to say, I want people in my life that up-level me, uplift me. There's nothing better than having people that are in your corner, that love you, that bring out the best in you. So this is not something you just wait to happen. You're not going to sit there, I'm waiting for somebody to love and support me and bring me on. No, you're going to intend it and you're going to allow it. This is what is activation. So this is what we're agreeing on. This is what we're saying yes to. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to invite you to take a moment and just think of something. What is it? We're getting ready to move into a new year. And we're not bringing baggage with us. It doesn't matter if the new year starts on the 1st of January or it starts right now. We're going to start right now. What is it? What are the eternal frequencies and qualities that you are choosing to respect? Are you choosing to understand and know God is your source and your supply and holds nothing back? You want to know that? Yes. You want to have a world where God loves you through people. Not some people, all people, all the time. That one really is going to take your brain and the neural network, but you don't know so-and-so. No, none of that. None of you don't know so-and-so. The only person you can slap is perhaps yourself. And say, no, this is the very idea of get ye behind me. I am not listening to that factual, evidential information. I am living to actual truth. And I can tell you, as a living, breathing example, when I would take it, I remember the time there was somebody in my life, were they a thorn? It was like, oh my God, just the thought of you making me just want to, and I was like, okay, then you're the one. You're the one I am going to just love and invite into a profoundly spiritual connection. And I would connect with them, and I would pray for them in my prayer practice. And all of a sudden, slowly but surely, they started becoming nicer and kinder and more loving and more reverent and more respectful. Sometimes it happens quick. Sometimes it's a little slow, and that will test you. When it's slow, you're like, did that really happen? I don't know. Are they? No, I don't know. And you're gonna doubt yourself. Don't do it. Don't fall into that trap. You are going to call forward kindness and reverence and respect from everyone. I'm going to invite you to pick the person who irritates you most. I know we're all getting ready to have family gatherings. We just had a family gathering for Thanksgiving. I heard a story about somebody who had a family gathering. One of those ones where it's like, yikes. So we are going to hold everyone. If it's your ex, let's pick it. Get an ex in there if that's who it is. Whatever it is. And you're going to make it good. All right? And if you want to go over to the other end of the spectrum, then we'll go over like, this person in my life, like I know these two over here, they will be participating in this. Well, this person in my life is amazing. And I'm just going to take it to the next level of amazing. I'm going to take it to that great glory to greater glory. That's what we're saying yes to. So with that, you've got your marching orders. We're going to go to the prayer field right here, right now. And we do this literally. Open your heart. Feel your heart center open. Open your throat center. Open your mind's eye. Open your crown. Open your solar plexus right in your core. Open your sacral center. Open your root at the base of your spine. Open every cell, every muscle, every bone, every tissue to the glory and the beauty of life force. And that is the omni-activity of God. Open to the omni-amorous light. Open to omni-amorous brilliance that is your soulful energy. And open to providential awareness that allows you to live from the actual truth and not the factual lie. We open to the holy great remembering of knowing that God is love and joy and bliss and beauty, never having withheld, never having judged, never having punished, never having condemned. That does not exist in God. All that God is and does is praise and raise and lavish and love and lift. We say yes to that great remembering, the remembering of who we are as spiritual beings, beyond our name, beyond our age, gender, religion, beyond any of the emotional confines. There's a divine spark within me, within you, that has never been hurt or harmed, sad or frustrated, guilty or ashamed. It only lives from joy. It only lives from glee. We say yes to the gleeful, blissful nature of our true beingness, and we allow it to shine through uninhibited, unrestricted, that we may be in the world but not of the world. We say yes to more good and more glory than ever before. We grow, heal, and expand in benevolent, brilliant, symbiotic, cooperative, kind, joy-filled, joyous ways. This is how we rock and soul. I am grateful that each of us has everything we need to thrive, and in our first, second, and third energy fields, we say yes to nurturance and to support. In the fourth, fifth, and sixth energy fields, we say yes to more glory and more divine adventure than ever before. We allow ourselves to be uplifted, compelled, propelled in goodness, and we proclaim and declare this by saying, and so I let it be.
So I let it be.
And so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
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 Ashe.
Ashe.
Aho.
Aho.
Mahalo. Shalom. Hotep. And hallelujah. All right. Just taking a moment to let that seep into yourselves. We are osmotic beings. When we activate it, it integrates. So I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for all of you streaming in. It is now our time for conscious giving and tithing. We're going to go ahead and have our glorious angel ushers come forward. For those of you at home streaming in, you can tithe by texting the word give to area code 669-342-2157. For those of you here, you can do the same. You can also, we have our ushers that are going to come forward. You can put cash or money. We have blue butterflies that people use for auto tithe. And you can also go to the soulcenteroc.com website where you can hit the donate button there. It is, as our beloved co-founder Jessica has said, end of the year. Get those tax deduction dollars in. We will gladly take that off your hands and circulate it back to you, minimally tenfold. You can go forward. Thank you, ushers. And I think I've covered all the different ways. You can Venmo at Soul Center OC under business. You'll find us under personal. With that being said, Christy, take it away.
Rise up to the light in the sky, let the light in you.
hard to quite grasp, but like so cool. Like I know when Soul Center started, you were probably like that big, and now I'm like seeing a young adult. I know you're just a teenager. I don't mean to say just a teenager, but you know you're mature and grown up, and it's pretty cool to see you in the big church. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to extend our spiritual practice of prayer, extending our prayers through our hearts and our hands. That's why we extend our hands. We take a moment as we bless. We move into the field of blessings, which is simply God, because God only cycles and circulates blessings. We open to be the channels that say, yes, use me to cycle your blessings. Blessed, we are the blessors and the blessed. We take a moment and we bless this offering, knowing that Soul Center continues as we move in to our 10th year next year, that we are allowing ourselves to launch into great and grand, just following the vision, allowing it to be fulfilled. We know that this offering, as it flows through the congregation, is simply satiating and satisfying the outpicturing of the collective consciousness, the divine idea. And we know that we do not give from a finite supply, we give from an overflowing infinite supply of good, and therefore we say yes to it, returning to us multiplied minimally tenfold. We give thanks for this and we let it be, and so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, ushers. And I believe we've got some amazing Conte and Leo.
So I just had, oh, come on over here, guys.
Center stage.
How you doing, Soul Center? So I just had these two this morning. So basically what we talked about was positivity and how that affects the body. And I asked them a few questions about it. I didn't want to push too hard, you know, because they're pretty young. But you guys have anything you want to say about positivity? Anything? Say anything? No? It's okay, you don't have to. No pressure. I've been working with the teens as well on Wednesday nights, and it has been amazing. So if you guys have teens that you would like to bring to this, it's pretty incredible. We have a really good time for an hour and a half, and we talk about a lot of things, but I basically am just their support and just to be there as a big brother. So it's an incredible thing. We're just getting started. If you do have teens and you want to bring them, come through. It's amazing.
Start while they're young, so they don't have things to heal later. Alright? We're going to close with our closing peace song. The words are in your programs if you want to sing along and stretch those vocal cords. Your way with me. ultimately God's good pleasure to bring forward that which we call the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of heaven, the allness and fullness of heaven on earth. We choose to be the ambassadors, the harbingers, the messengers,